Have you ever found yourself trying to get an AI to do something really specific, maybe a complex task at work, and it just, well, it doesn't quite get it? It feels like you're talking to this super smart genius, but they're not quite speaking your language.
Oh, absolutely. It's a common frustration, isn't it? And this deep dive is all about a really interesting paper that tackles that exact challenge, especially for AI in specialized fields. Think cybersecurity, healthcare, legal stuff.
Okay.
Our goal here is to really understand how they've built a system to help you craft the perfect prompt, making AI feel more like an intuitive co-pilot.
Right. So what is the core problem then? When people try using these big, large language models, LLMs, for really precise professional tasks,
Well, the power is there, but getting it to work hinges on asking the question perfectly.
and the current tools don't really help with that.
They often fall short. You might get these static lists of example prompts, right? But they get outdated fast. They don't scale.
Right. Static lists are never ideal.
Or you see generic suggestions, but they miss the crucial domain details. They lack that specific knowledge.
And personalization.
Yeah, that's another big one. They just don't adapt to how you work, your habits, your role. And think about fields like cybersecurity. The stakes are incredibly high. A prompt that's just slightly off, that could mean missing a serious threat. I mean, the consequences can be significant.
Okay, so existing systems aren't quite cutting it for these specialized high-stakes jobs. How does this new research, this paper, try to fix that? What's their approach?
They introduce a system that's dynamic and context-aware. That's the key difference. It's not just one single trick. It's how multiple parts work together, synergize.
Oh, okay.
It integrates things like contextual query analysis, bringing in knowledge, using retrieval augmentation, organizing skills smartly, and it learns from user behavior to rank what's useful. It's really designed to bridge that gap between what you mean and what the system can do.
That sounds like the secret sauce. How does it actually work under the hood? What are the pieces?
Yeah, let's break it down. Think of it like a very specialized assistant helping you write prompts. First, there's a contextual query processor. It doesn't just hear your words in isolation.
It looks at more than just the last thing I typed.
Exactly. It understands your whole session, the conversation history, even your user profile, like your job role or things you've preferred in the past.
Got it. Context. What else?
Then a knowledge retrieval engine. This is like a super fast research assistant. It uses that retrieval-augmented generation approach, RARAG. You might have heard of it.
RJAG, right. Pulling in relevant info.
Precisely. It grabs the right domain-specific documents, data, maybe API definitions, skills from this huge knowledge base, and uses that info to help generate a better, more informed suggestion.
So it's constantly pulling in fresh, relevant stuff. That sounds powerful.
It is. And then there's something really unique. Hierarchical skill organization. Skills aren't just in one flat, messy list.
Okay, how does that help?
Imagine them grouped, like in a library catalog or decision tree, maybe by function or by the data they use. This lets it use a two-step reasoning process. First, find the right category of action, then pinpoint the specific skill needed. Much more efficient.
Narrows that down quickly. Smart.
Yeah. And then the skill ranking engine. This part learns from you. It uses behavioral telemetry, basically. It watches how users interact, which suggestions get clicked, which get ignored.
So it gets better over time, tailored to the users.
That's the idea. It dynamically prioritizes the skills that seem most useful based on actual usage. Finally, all this comes together in the information synthesis and prompt generation module.
Right, putting it all together.
It takes the context, the retrieved knowledge, the ranked skills, and crafts what they call a meta prompt. It uses templates, some predefined, some dynamic, and enhances them with few-shot learning.
Few-shot, meaning it learns quickly from just a few examples.
Exactly. So it can generate these tailored, actionable suggestions for the main LLM, giving it just the right steer.
Wow, that's quite a system. So the big question, did it actually work when they tested it?
They did test it on real-world data from a security application. We're talking thousands of chats, over 12,000 suggested prompts. The results were really strong. They had security researchers manually evaluate the suggestions. Usefulness rates were consistently high, over 96% across different AI models they tried, like GPT-4o, GPT-4o Mini, and hybrid setups.
Over 96% useful is impressive. Any standouts?
Well, the full GPT-4o pipeline was particularly good. They found 75% of its prompts were rated extremely useful.
75% extremely useful. That's significant.
It is, but it also highlights the trade-offs, you know? GPT-4o is powerful but expensive. They found GPT-4 Mini, which is like 10 times cheaper. Well, it struggled more with the really complex prompt generation tasks.
The classic cost versus performance dilemma.
Right. So that led them to explore hybrid solutions. Maybe use a simpler, cheaper model, like a Markov model, just for figuring out the skill needed, and then use the more powerful model for the final prompt crafting. It's about finding that balance.
Makes sense. Choose the right tool for each part of the job.
Yeah.
So these results look great, but what comes next? What are the challenges or future directions for this kind of tech?
Good question. There are definitely things to keep working on. Cost efficiency is still a big one, finding that optimal balance. Prompt diversity is another challenge. The system helps suggest relevant prompts, like for show recent sign-ins, it might suggest list suspicious activities or get risky users.
Giving you options.
Exactly. But generating a wider range of equally good, diverse options is still tricky. And feasibility, making sure the prompts it suggests are things that AI can actually do. That's crucial.
Can't suggest something impossible.
Right. So future work will likely focus on better ways to measure diversity and feasibility quantitatively. Also exploring more low-cost models, tackling privacy concerns if you want deeper personalization, and of course, seeing how well this whole approach generalizes to other complex domains, healthcare, finance, you name it.
This is fascinating. It really shows how AI systems are evolving. They're not just waiting for your command anymore. They're becoming active partners, helping you figure out how to ask the right questions in the first place. It gives you the vocabulary.
Exactly. And think about what that means. How might this kind of smarter AI assistance change how quickly you can get up to speed in a new, complex field? When the AI isn't just an oracle, but truly your most informed partner? What kind of bigger, more ambitious questions will you start asking then?